We open with Damaris checking in on the Colossus project being overseen by the head scientist of the Zanyak. He says that it's going fine, but he could still use some more help. Damaris knows just a target to kidnap for help. Meanwhile, with the pirates, Navi gives a new prediction. Former friends turn enemies, memories on the line. The pirates question what this could mean. Then Gosei contacts the pirates saying that the Green Samurai Storm Ranger Cam is in trouble. He's getting attacked by the Zanyak, and they're not even letting him morph. So Gosei teleports them in, and we see some red bruisers, who are the Royal Guard of the Zanyak. And unlike the bruisers and X-Borgs, the Royal Guard can actually talk. The head scientist sent them and Argus to go kidnap Cam. Joe goes to fight Argus. Meanwhile, the rest of the pirates morph. Cat Ranger, Blue Centurion, Wolf Warrior, Magna Defender, and the Sentinel Knight. This leads into a really cool fight scene, but the Royal Guard teleport away, and Joe and Argus's fight ends with a double solar slash. Joe tells the rest of the pirates to not interfere with his fight, just for Vakar to enter and rub it in that he lost, and teleports away with Argus. Cam thanks the pirates for saving him and notes that he scanned Argus and has their blueprints. Joe is grateful for this and asks for him to help him research the blueprints. So then Joe and Cam are at the computer figuring out how his blueprints work. Cam asks what's so important about this Argus guy, and Joe recaps Sugra being Argus and the backstory of Sugra adopting Joe when he was a little orphan, training him to be the second greatest swords fighter in the galaxy, and teaching him the Solar Slash. When Snootus told Joe to execute some orphans and Lindsay, he refused and abandoned the Zanyak, saving Lindsay and the orphans. Sugra actually helped out Joe escaping by letting him escape as he fought a orange recolor Malcor. Soon after, Lindsay and Joe met Marvelous, and history was made. Back at the Chariot command ship, the elite science is repairing Argus. Vakar asks what's so important about who Argus was before, and the lead scientist says that he was tasked to bring Sugra back because the Emperor himself said he was too great of a fighter to let loose. So that's why Sugra became Argus. And we also sort of imply that Damaris was the Orange Malcor. Cam discovers something about the blueprints. Turns out that Argus' memory file has been corrupted, which is why Argus can still do the Solar Slash. But there is a duplicate of his memories out there, so as long as he can get those, he could have Sugra return. Joe thanks Cam with all of his life and heads out. Meanwhile, the lead scientist is robbing a diamond mine for the Colossus. The pirates show up and go legendary, "Live man!" In the middle of the fight, Joe shows up, unmorphed, and fights the lead scientist and demands that he gives him Sugra's backup memory file. The lead scientist sees that he wants it, so he destroys it right in front of Joe. This sends Joe into such rage, he takes on the scientist by himself and gives him a Solar Slash, destroying him. Fight with the legendary Ninja Storm Megazord later, and in the crow nest of the Red Galleon at night, Joe is thinking to himself out loud that he will not give up. He will bring Sugra back. Datus receives a distress call, so all the pirates show up in the command center to figure out what's going on. The distress call is from Dr. K from Power Rangers RPM, and she's here to say that she built a Turbo Falcon Zord from the morphing grid energy of the RPM red and yellow Zord, and it kind of went haywire, and now it's escaped into the morphing grid, and she needs help getting it back. The pirates agree to go find it, and the Mega Team agrees to stay behind to defend Earth. And then we get some comic relief because then a little pink and white robot appears on screen saying, "Your tea is ready, Dr. K." And then Orion's like, "Wait a minute, your world was destroyed by robots, and you have a little robot helper with you." And Dr. K's like, "Yeah, Bumper keeps me company when Ziggy's not here." So anyways, the pirates enter the morphing grid, and the Zangak, when they hear that this is going on, Vakar gets so happy he resurrects Professor Cog from the Samurai RPM crossover. The Mega Team goes to deal with that, goes Ultra Mode. We get a unique Ultra Mode for green. Meanwhile, the pirates in the morphing grid, they find the Turbo Falcon Zord, but as soon as it sees they're there, it turns around and flees. So we get a chase scene until the guys form the upper half of the legendary Megazord and try connecting with it, and it throws them back into the normal dimension where a red energy comes off the Turbo Falcon Zord and leaches to Professor Cog. And it turns out that red energy was Venjix, who was, if you remember, hiding in Red's cell shift morpher, but he found out that Dr. K was going to build a new Zord. So Venjix bided his time, and he left the cell shift morpher when Dr. K used some of the morphing grid energy from Red Zord to make it. And as soon as it came online, Venjix fled into the morphing grid to find a new dimension to conquer. Venjix turns on the Zangak, and he even hacks the X-Borgs. The pirates end up fighting, and the Zangak retreat. And then we get a tribute morph to RPM, and the RPM theme plays in the background because anniversary. And it's the demo version because it's way better. We're here to save humanity. Power Rangers, you'll never break us or erase us. Power Rangers, RPM, let's go. Then they hit him with a red wave, but then Vengeance grows giant. But Dr. K gives the Turbo Falcon Zord to the pirates, creating the legendary RPM Megazord, and they defeat Venjix. Or do they? Venjix retreats back into the cell shift morpher, but unknown to him, it was actually a duplicate created by GB, and a little inspiring scientist mixes Morphex and Snake DNA into the cell shift morpher to see what happens. But that's a story for another day.